We're so glad you were able to join us here, Alex. You are the founder and CEO of SOLARR, which is a project that I put my heart into.
Thank you.
This is the first AMA from SOLARR. And in the past few days, we have received so many questions from our community on Telegram and Discord, and we've made a collection from them. So it's great that we have Alex here with us today to share more about SOLARR's project with everyone.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. To start off, Alex, why don't you tell us more about what SOLARR is about and what you guys are building right now?
Right. Wow. Simply put, right, I think SOLARR was really designed for the people, right? It's designed for you and me. It's meant to empower, everybody with freedom of choice, financial freedom, inclusion, right, and having the ability to share without a centralized governance, right? And to enable this, we're building Asia's first decentralized NFT finance platform, right? And this platform aims to empower, you and me, the mass, right, to increase utility, unlock value, and liquify, right, NFTs, right, which we believe, right, will be the tool, right, moving forward within NFT commerce, right, within the mainstream, right, and even connectivity, with the metaverse economy.
I would really love to dive into all those single words: connectivity, inclusivity, and like liquidity, but we don't have much time, so I'm gonna just pass on to the next question. Can you share about SOLARR's vision and mission a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. Get that a lot, and it's something that it's true to my heart, true to my team's heart as well. In unity, our mission really is to accelerate NFT mass adoption, right, with utility, accessibility, and NFT finance and commerce as well. Again, the mission is really, again, designed for the people, right? It's designed for everybody to be able to easily adopt, right, with NFT technology, and to access the greater digital economy. In terms of our vision, right, the vision is really to facilitate everybody, the world's transition into the decentralized digital economy. Yeah.
So what I hear is this project that you're working on, that you're building, is not only for the people that are into crypto, but it's more including a lot of people around the world, right?
That's right. That's correct. And by a mass adoption, I'm referring to, basically, we see blockchains use cases, right? So what SOLARR wants to do, enhance, is really to bring that use case to the real world, right? Where people can easily access, people can easily use this revolutionary technology, right? Called the NFT, right? And I think SOLARR would eventually be able to take that even forward, right, to a point where we can monetize for everybody, right? Where within the digital economy, decentralized digital economy, everybody will win. Everybody will share the best of everything, really. Yeah.
So moving on to the next question, can you also tell us more about your team? That I know that they didn't unveil themselves yet, but where is your team based and what's their background?
Yeah. Very, very blessed to have assembled such a such a dream team. I call them a dream team. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to persuade them, especially in a startup like SOLARR. But combined, our founding team has 50 years of financial services and payments experience, about 45 years of tech and product development experience, close to 20 years of digital assets and the blockchain development. Now, I know all those are big numbers, so not to reveal the real ages of average age of my team, but we have quite a few team members. Okay, I'll put it that way. Um, and, and we also have we're also expecting new colleagues with very industry specific experiences from global brands, right? That and that really was a pretty immediate hiring need, given that we're gaining some traction with global brands. Now, our core team members, they come from all walks of life, right? Many of whom had worked with the blue chip companies, names like Morgan Stanley, right? J.P. Morgan, Credit Suisse, Microsoft, browser, one of the largest browser companies called Opera, right? Rank Interactive, which is an online gaming company, CoinFloor. Even in Asia, Hashkey, and OpenSwap, right? And I think it's worth sharing that within digital assets, this team has built centralized and decentralized platforms from scratch, right? Including licensed crypto exchanges in the UK and Hong Kong. And the members of this team had led token listings, both STO as well as in decentral in the DeFi space, and even pioneered ICO marketing as well. Back since the days of ICO, right, in 2017. And to date, our team has about 14 full-time employees distributed all over the world. So we have our main team is based in Hong Kong. Our development team, headed up by our CTO, who's based in London, and there he's managing a team of about 6, basically scattered everywhere in Europe, right? Finland, France, etc.
So can we know more about your background specifically? Because now we caught you, maybe we can just dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah. So I spent about over a decade in traditional finance. Started off with a Swiss New York investment bank called Credit Suisse First Boston. And there I started doing M&A, IPO work with state-owned enterprise China state-owned enterprises. So that was in 2005. And subsequently, I transferred into the private banking area, and there basically serviced ultra high net worth individuals, and also the listed company management whom I had helped go public beforehand at Credit Suisse First Boston. And after private banking, I joined a family office here in Hong Kong, serving as their CIO, overseeing their businesses, both private and listed. Their family, investment portfolio, property portfolio all around the world. And interestingly, that was actually my first dive, I should say, into digital assets, because this family, they were majority shareholder of actually one of the first crypto exchanges in Asia, called ANX. So this company was formed back in 2014, 2015, and pioneered a number of verticals within the crypto space. And in 2018, they had migrated into a listed company here in Hong Kong. And ever since then, just milestone after milestones, and they became Hong Kong's first licensed crypto exchange. So I was very proud of that achievement, right? Helping this company achieve the license. A few years down the track, I joined another company called Hashkey, and also a venerable crypto exchange platform here in Asia. They have just received approval in principle license from the SFC in Hong Kong as well. They will become the second licensed crypto exchange in Hong Kong. Yeah. So I mean, some would say that I've been around because I've worked for two of the only licenses in Hong Kong. Yeah. So, yeah. And
Amazing.
I'd say during my time at Hashkey, I was very fortunate enough to have been exposed to a number of crypto projects, and through those crypto projects, I was able to sort of deep dive into as some would say, the darker side of crypto, which is the darker side of the side of a DeFi, right, the metaverse, right, NFT ecosystem, etc. Yeah. And so I basically took the plunge, a few months beforehand, and co-founded the SOLARR with my very esteemed management team. Yeah.
Talking about your background and your team really builds trust in the community and myself also.
Thank you.
So, how does SOLARR wish to revolutionize NFT 2.0? I was wondering.
Yeah, revolutionize is a big word, and certainly it carries a lot of weight as well. For being revolutionizing, right? Although in the spirit of a Web 3.0, I would say that we're part of the revolutionary movement, right, towards NFT 2.0. And I think that this is really the best point in time, right, where the industry is undergoing changes, right. The industry is pivoting, right. The industry is rotating, right, into NFT 2.0, right. And the thing is, what is NFT 2.0, right? Well, you have to go through NFT 0.0 to 1.0, and probably in between, right? You need to get to 2.0. So I would say NFT 1.0 being the first wave of NFTs, right? These are the digital collectibles, right, that we see. Personal view, and also reflective of my management team's view, is that it was merely a discovery process, right? It was that there were lots of innovations, chaotic innovations. There were a bunch of speculations involved, right? Where the allure of verifiable ownership collection was not enough to sustain attention in this nascent market, right? And now we feel that there is an emergence of utility NFTs, right? Now that is going to be taking the NFT world by storm, and more and more we're going to be seeing more and more of these utility NFTs, and with the real world use cases, I think that this will only be more and more adoptive, right? Now the NFT hype may die down, but I think its technology is definitely here to stay, right? The technology is definitely here to stay, and I think utility NFTs possess a greater degree of dynamism and real world application scenarios than their predecessors. Um, and I think now they can be designed to add utility value to our lives, right, and to transform the way businesses interact with customers. And this really brings back to our true vision and mission as well. Yeah.
So, going on to the next question. This was really intense and deep, by the way, I should say. What are the main services offered by SOLARR which makes it unique to other decentralized platforms other than the ones you just listed?
Yeah. Yeah, this is I'll try to think of a deep answer as well, given this deep question. Um, I think maybe let me share with you our ultimate vision. Right, we see great
Mm-hmm.
potential in the metaverse economy. Right, so that is our ultimate ultimate, right, and be able to bridge, right, the NFT space with the metaverse space, right. I think this is really and obviously that there is no crystal ball, and that there's no recipe out there, right, that would
Of course.
connect these two verses together, right. And honestly, there are many roads that lead to Rome, right, and so I'm sure there are many ways as well to bridge that as well. um, I think where we are today, we're quite it's still quite a long way from actualizing that vision. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, right? To a building, the foundation and infrastructure, really to doing beta testing, right? Testing out the real world scenarios as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think quick recap and so here's what we know, right? The metaverse will be huge in the future, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the currency and the tools, right, that will power the metaverse is NFT, right? Is NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where Solar comes to play, right? Where we're setting the foundation, right? An integrated economic infrastructure powered by NFT technology, which will then become the gateway into the metaverse economy, right? And to achieve that, we've come up with a service for Solar Square, which is our NFT commerce platform. We call it NFT as a service, right? NFT as a service, and this NFT as a service effectively, right? It helps the mainstream, right, connect to the NFT ecosystem, and through the ecosystem, right, these brands are able to access a new commercialization model, right, where they can now directly interact with their customers, right. They can interact with the people within the digital economy, right. And having that foundation is key, because it leads to our goal, which is the metaverse economy, right. And I think what we're seeing also is when you deal with the mainstream, right, you have to talk their language, right. You have to talk layman people's language, and you have to use the tools that they're familiar with, right. For example, connectivity with the payment gateways, right, processors, right, acquirers, right, on-off ramping solutions, right, etc. So these are the things that we believe, will really take things forward, um, and I think will also, give Solar a very unique advantage, right, moving onwards. Mm.
Mm-hmm. You know that this is a hard task, but with the dream team you have built, it doesn't seem that hard, doesn't it?
Yes, yes, it's and time after time, I've I guess I forgot to mention that a few of the team members from the dream team I've worked with since in fact that we entered the crypto space together back in 2016 and 17. So we've known each other, and we've built the rapport, and also the trust, right, and also we know what we're capable of, and of course what we're not capable of. So I think there's a lot of I think I guess a report there, and lots of trust there, and I think I haven't told the team this yet, but they have actually exceeded many of the deliverables. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 This is the first time they're hearing this.
Uh-huh.
So I hope they're clapping their hands and toasting to each other with champagne and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, write to us if you guys are hearing this right now, guys. Shout
Mm.
out to you.
Yeah.
All
Very good.
right, moving on. Can you tell us more on the ISNO, the initial staking NFT offering the team intends to offer, and what will be the advantages of staking ISNO NFT?
Yes. So this is quite an innovative platform that we're trying to build here, and also one a platform that that we're starting to see, but yet still quite early in the game. So ISNO refers to initial staking NFT offering, right? Initial staking NFT offering. It's essentially a new crowdfunding model, right? That enables projects, right? Crypto projects, NFT projects, right? Any sort of ICO or IEO projects, right? To really engage supporters and communities by issuing stakeable NFTs, right? So and to crypto projects with project tokens, right? They can expand their network effect, right? Via this launchpad by launching their projects here while achieving fundraising goals, right? Now, purchasers and holders of ISNO NFT launchpad they can enjoy exclusive rights offered by crypto projects, and most importantly, they can enjoy staking reward. Yeah. So I think with this launchpad, we're very excited about this because knowing that there are quite a few, in light of a recent market situation, there are quite a few crypto projects, right, that are looking to perhaps revive or perhaps find other avenues to expand their ecosystem, and this ISNO launchpad, in fact, that becomes an appropriate venue for them to pursue. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So, what about in a traditional pawn store? Uh,
Hmm.
People walk into the store and drop their valuable assets for a period of time with agreement that if they don't pay the store, takes up ownership of that. If they don't pay, the store takes up ownership of that asset. Sorry for that. Is this the same mechanism we will see with SOLARR, or how will the mechanism work? This is actually a question from the community.
Yeah. Um, and this is the reason why we call ourselves an NFT-Fi or NFT finance platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because we're converging, right, NFT technology with a traditional financial concepts, with the financial structures as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, this is indeed very similar. It's a very similar mechanism, with SOLARR Credit, which is
Mm-hmm.
our pawn portal. Yeah. Now, to elaborate a little bit more, so the pawner, it does not repay the handling fee and the principal
Mm-hmm.
according to agreed terms. The collateral will be liquidated, right, by the platform, right? So just
Mm-hmm.
like traditional pawn platforms, and compared to traditional pawn stores, right, instead of getting a paper receipt from the tradition from the pawn store, to prove the pawn transaction, right? So SOLARR Credit will record the pawn transaction on the blockchain and actually mint a pawn NFT to prove
Mm-hmm.
the pawn transaction, right? So that's the concept, right? Now this pawn NFT can be transacted on a SOLAR Square, right, our marketplace. When all the handling fee and the principals are all cleared in a pawn transaction, the pawn NFT will be burned, right, to redeem the collateral. So that's essentially how it works. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like we have received quite a number of questions related to SOLAR's roadmap. Alex, the community is very interested to know where you guys are on the development roadmap and when you guys will launch. Can you share more about SOLAR's roadmap and launch plans with us?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, the truth of the matter is that our roadmap evolves, right?
Mm-hmm.
by the day, I would say, and this really reflects, right, the progress that our team has achieved in the past few days, weeks. They're really moving in light speed. but I'd say that our testnet app is already completed, right? Testnet app is already completed, and we aim to launch the beta version by beginning of June. I would probably pin down a June 3rd as the date, and
Isn't that the
because
Artoverse also you guys are
exactly,
joining?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that is really the day where SOLARR is going to debut,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. So at Artoverse, I think those who are in Hong Kong, we're more than happy to give out tickets, right, to you, to participate in this outdoor NFT event. It's the
Mm-hmm.
largest of its kind in Hong Kong to date, and it's basically, it's like a festival, right, with stars, singing, food, and there'll be lots of NFT artists, displaying their works,
Mm-hmm.
I think, next is, we aim to have our PRC versions ready by mid-June, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that's followed by the beta version, right? Beginning of June, and so our overall plan is to really focus on developing the marketplace, right? And NFT as a service, as our core service offering, and then incrementally increase our NFT finance capabilities by the second half of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think it's worth mentioning, why this is the case. This is a slight, I guess, a slight pivot, from our seed round, roadmap, and that is because, recently we received quite a few, inquiries from brands, right? From brands, and these are luxury brands, for our NFT as a service offering, and we're expecting to announce a few, MOUs, in the coming weeks. So stay tuned.
We will definitely. So the community was wondering, is there a Medium article that explains the project in detail, and maybe we can find your roadmap in detail in the Medium article if there is one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So in fact, we have our own Medium blog where we publish
Mm-hmm.
educational blog posts every frequently. And feel free to go to solarxyz.medium.com. So that's a solar with a two R's, and then xyz.medium.com.
Amazing.
So there you will find, find posts specifically talking about SOLARR's project, and yeah, happy to share it in the chat with everybody, and yeah, so our resident ecosystem analyst, Michael, he's starting to write posts, from time to time, and yeah, I think that channel we'll be looking to build up. Yeah, so expect more articles there.
As far as I know, your Medium page does not only consist of SOLARR's details, but also the NFT environment and community also, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for reading, Denise.
Of course. I came here, studied my lessons, all of it.
Great.
So NFTs are popular on chains like the Ether ERC20 and Binance BEP20, but we also have a strong community of NFT holders on layer 2 chains like Solana and Neo Protocol, also Cardano, and many others. How does SOLARR wish to incorporate all these chains into their ecosystem?
Yeah. So I think supporting multi-chains is definitely part of Solar's core strategy, right? Yeah, we have a phased approach to a multi-chain adoption. So first, we will launch ERC 721, ERC 1155. However, knowing that the network effect is expanding exponentially, we're considering supporting 2 additional chains in our second phase. Likely within a 6 to 9 months time frame. Now we haven't decided which 2 chains we will support, but I think I think Solana, right, and Polygon are probably the likely suitors, right, and as they're on our radar. Of course, we're actively listening to our community, so please help us, right? Do help us. We're always open to any suggestions you may have by providing your chain preference and why, and even maybe make referrals, right? If you would like.
And as far as I know, your Telegram and Discord channels are very active, and they can also go there and state their opinions about this issue or any kind of issue if they
Sure.
will.
Sure. Yeah, and I think you may have seen, Denise, that we actually throw out questions from time to time. So for example, the last question we threw out was which IDO launchpad the community would like us to launch our IDO, and the response was very good, very good.
Trustpad? The response was Trustpad, I guess.
Yes,
The
yeah,
leading
and
one.
yeah, and exactly, and so we're expecting, of course, also overwhelming response from this as well on the which chain is next.
Great. So to get governance roles, will users have to only own NFTs or SLRR tokens, or do they have to own both?
Yeah, you just need to hold SLRR tokens. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And is the SOLARR's private round over yet?
Oh, no. Yeah, it's not yet over. In fact, we had just recently completed our seed round token sale, and we successfully raised 2 million in funding. And again, we're very, very proud of that, given the market circumstances, right? We were going to do this token sale sometime in February, and looking back in the market, right? I mean, it just wasn't the right timing, right? January, February, the market was a little range bound and downward trending. While when beginning of March to mid March, right? That was when the market started to have some sort of momentum, right? And we seized the moment. And just went out to speak to people, right? And just and we were very, very, very blessed to be able to raise this amount within a month, or within 6 weeks. Now, with the closing of what was the seed round, we took maybe a few weeks of breather to really rethink our roadmap, and also our overall strategy, right? And so we aim to begin our private round next week. So yeah, I mean, it's not over yet, and we always welcome any suggestions, contributions. Of course, are always welcome as well.
So what will be the initial price at TGE, and what will be the advantages of partaking in the IDO?
Yeah, the initial price will be 0.018 per token. And the second question is, what will be the advantage, right, of partaking in the IDO? Now, given our team's financial background, we we are a prudent bunch, and I must disclaim here that what I'm about to say is not strictly financial advice. So I mean, essentially, what you're trying to, what you're contributing, right, to is really SOLARR's vision, right, our mission, right, our team, the big rotation towards NFT 2.0, where utility and use cases will challenge the status quo, for sure, i.e. the NFT 1.0. And with it's gonna take I think the mainstream by storm, with this new commercialization model, right? And it's going to definitely drive mainstream adoption towards the metaverse, right? So these are the things that I would encourage everybody to think about right before contributing to the IDO, right? You're not just contributing to the IDO, but you're contributing to the this not only ideology, but I think that this is really the future, right? This is really the big trend here. So I think that this is from my take at least, right, the advantages for particularly in this idea. Yeah,
They're actually taking part in this revolution you were so hesitant to say.
yes. Yeah, it's a big word. It's a very, very big word. But I think this movement, we're definitely supportive, and also I think in Asia alone, I would say that we're pioneers. We're pioneers, and of course we look forward to connecting and even learning from our peers, more advanced peers over in the U.S. and in the EU.
It's a big word, but it's happening. We have to
Yes.
accept that.
Yes, for sure. I mean, exactly. I think NFT alone, right, is already a revolutionary product of blockchain technology, right? And this, and we're breathing, NFT, day in day out, at work, outside of work, right? Yeah, I mean, it's for sure a revolution, right? That we cannot miss. Yeah.
And when will the contract address be deployed and listing?
Yeah, so our plan is to deploy to mainnet in June, and we're going to be publishing a contract address to the community in due course. Yeah. So you, the community, you'll be hearing from us. So we're aiming for the SOLARR token, which is denominated by the token symbol SLRR, to be listed by mid-July. And so the token contract address deployment will be then as well. So we plan to first list on decentralized exchanges. And on this note, I want to personally thank the community. You ran, like I said earlier, we ran a poll asking you for for recommendations on which platform to list on, and the response was great. Thank you. Yeah.
I take that thank you as a part of your community.
Yes.
And what is the team's thoughts on the current market situation that we've been talking about throughout this AMA?
Yeah, look, I think it's beginning to be very clear here. I think the NFT market is undergoing an inflection point, right? An inflection point. As I mentioned earlier, I think NFT 1.0 is really on the verge of a bubble, right? And so that implies that I think in some ecosystems, I think we're still around 0.8, 0.9, right? So I think we're reaching to the end of 1.0. And I think the market in general is really ready to rotate into a new era, right? I think the market is really ready. You're seeing a decrease in supply of NFT projects, right? You're seeing a decrease in investor demand, right? Investors are waiting and seeing on the sidelines. Some are shocked, right? Some are fatigued, right? And like all new technologies, right? Look no further. Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and even Web 3.0, right? Everything will go through phases of progression, right? There will always be hypes. There will always be chaotic innovations, speculations that maybe lead to a bust, right? And after that, then maybe comes regulation, right? This progression, history repeats itself, right? And NFT technology is no exception. Yeah, but of course, it's don't get me wrong here. It's not all doom and gloom, right? There are clear signals that utility NFT is gaining grounds, right? So as I mentioned earlier, we see the emergence of mainstream adoption cases, right? In the areas of luxury brands, right? Retails, right? Properties, even in some instances, fintech as well, right? So that's the NFT market, right? But I think for the greater ecosystem, right? Including the crypto market, I think we see that the speculative use cases will no longer get the funding liquidity that they used to see in the market, right? I think that's for sure. That's for sure, right? And if there's no intrinsic value or no utility in the token, right, the ability to enter the market and see success will be limited for sure, right? So you see that the next phase, we'll start seeing a ton of utility, right? You start seeing intrinsic values, in tokens, right? Not just NFTs. So I think that projects that keep building and building and building and staying on a strategic path, right, will ultimately win. So that's where where our team sees.
Again, an elaborate answer.
And
So
I have 15 more minutes.
Yeah, we do. That's weird. We didn't think this would happen.
Yeah.
And will your project continue to be widely disseminated to other countries or communities?
Yes. SOLARR is a global project, right? Again, and it was really designed for everybody, right? For the people, you and me, everybody, in the true spirit of Web3. We're all about decentralization and empowering, right, our community. Since this is really the beginning for us, we're starting with English channels first. But of course, as we grow, we welcome community members to champion organic growth and translations into other languages as well. We're absolutely open to that. And it's crypto is borderless. Yeah.
So I would like to invite the community that are listening to us right now. If you have further questions, please write them in the chat so that if we have time, maybe we can ask Alex them. But I will continue with my own questions right now that we collected from the community already. Because we're coming to the end of our hour. This is my final question from the community, but it's the most important thing that everyone is waiting for. What is the secret code?
Okay.
So let me say, for those of you who may not know, 12 lucky winners will receive a reward if you enter the secret codes in our Pizza Day giveaway campaign. We will be sharing in the link with you in the chat right now. What is the secret code?
Do I hear the drum rolling? Yeah. So the moment of truth, right? So the secret code is Solarian, right? Solarian. So it's spelled as SOLARRIEN, Solarian.
So what does it stand for?
Yeah, so it's a cross between solar and aliens, right? Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So you get it. So it's Solarians, right? Solarian, right? So for those of you who are tuning in, you heard it here first. You're the lucky few. And this is really a teaser, right? This is really a teaser to something that's really cooking, in our kitchen. Um, and stay tuned for something really cool that's coming soon, right? If you haven't, um, subscribed or followed our Telegram, Discord, and other social media, right? I think this is your chance. This is really your chance, right? And wait for the big reveal of what the Solarian is all about, right? So, yep, that's it. Solarian. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I have a question though.
Hmm.
What does the name Solar stand for? And why did you guys pick this name? And what about the logo and all the branding? Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, well, I unfortunately, am not the artist here, and certainly not the magician here. But our CMO is, but I'd say that the origin of solar really is a very simple. It's derived from the biggest solar system, right? From the galaxy, and of course, right? We're harnessing we're harnessing the power, the energy, right? From the sun, right? The galaxy, and yeah, it's really as simple as that.
All right. There is one question from the community right now. They're asking what are Solar's local communities, if they have any?
Local communities, as in,
Mhm. Could be Telegram, could be Discord, could be other platforms. Do you have
right?
any?
Yes. In fact, we do have. Sorry. So you can find us on Telegram. You can find us on Discord, right? You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Um, yeah. So we're everywhere. And do visit us on our website. Our website will show you links to all of our all of our local communities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As far as I know, you only have English Telegram, right? You don't
That's
have
right.
any local ones. Okay.
That's right. That's
Do you
right. Yeah.
plan on having them?
Yes, I mean, look, we're always open. We're always open, for members to, to have, organic growth in the
Mhm.
region, and also, translate into other languages. We're more than happy to discuss how to do that. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right. So if we don't have any more questions from the community, I'm gonna just skim it once more so that we don't miss any. There is a question twice. Can you explain to us what makes your project different from other projects? But do you think you answered that already, or do you want to answer it
Yeah,
again?
no, Delos, right? Delos. Yeah, I'm more than
Uh-huh.
happy. More than happy to, to explain, to answer that. I think, very simply put, right? You know, we're not just a tech initiated, project, right? Where many of our competitors are, right? Many of our competitors are, also have a very strong tech team, right? They basically have their whole roadmap, based on development, operations, right, etc. But I think what we're trying to drive at, and where we have an advantage in, is really that we're trying to drive mainstream adoption, right? You're trying to bring NFT technology, which is revolutionary blockchain technology, to the real world, right? with real world use cases, right? And with use cases, we're trying to drive a further extension into helping the mainstream monetize, right, with this revolutionary technology. And I think with a management team, I know we have industry experts, right? So we have people coming in, joining us from many of some of the largest brands in the world. They understand the industry, right? They're able to feed us, feed not just our tech team but also our product development team with the industry logic, right? That is needed, right? To in fact have a very informed proposal to the mainstream. And I think at the same time we're also pretty connected to the traditional payment gateways, right? For example, with the likes of like MoonPay, right, etc., right? Or we're connected to them, and so I think there we're able to scale our business beyond just B2B, B2B2C as well, deep into the mainstream. So here are some of the I think differences we have compared to our competitors. Hopefully that answers your question, Dilos. Yeah.
And there's another question, and I would like to actually elaborate on that even more. The question is, what are your further plans for your project? And I was wondering, there are a lot of projects that come in and they die out really quick. And we actually, when we look at them, their team is really great and they're experienced in crypto. They're experienced in finances like you guys. But their life is not that long in the crypto world. So what are your plans for not dying out that early, and maybe further further plans for your project in general?
Understood. Yeah, that's a very good question. Now, we hold accountable, right, and not just to ourselves, right, but also to our clients as well, right. When a client comes to us, we spend a long time, internally discussing, planning, right, on the go-to-market strategy for them as well. And that go-to-market strategy is not just NFT, right, but it's also metaverse economy as well. Now, metaverse economy is still relatively new and nascent, right? So I think the life cycle, for for the client is actually quite long, right? We're talking like years, right? A few years of implementation, and so which means that we're also dedicated, right? We're also committed to that time frame as well, and of course, talking, as you saw, all the years accumulated for from our founding team. We actually quit our jobs, right, our well-paid jobs, from blue chip companies to join or to be founders of SOLARR. So we're not going to be easily giving up. Yeah, yeah.
It's good to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So there are no more questions. Is there anything you would like to add, Alex?
Yeah, look, I mean, we're always welcome, the community. We treat you like our friends, right, family even, and really do shout out, if you have any other questions, or that you have any suggestions, complaints, anything, come our way. We will try our best to answer them. And I think stay tuned for many more developments and incentives for sure.
Of course. It was nice having you here today.
Thank you for
You
having
answered
me too.
all of our questions in very detail. It was so good to have this knowledge shared with the community. Thank you again. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me, and I'll see you guys on our community channels very, very soon.
Maybe some internal AMAs are coming up, guys. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yes, great. Well, thanks very much again for having me, Denise. Yeah,
Of course,
and
always.
look forward to many more AMAs.
My pleasure.
Great.
Right. See you guys all in the communities, Telegram and Discord. Please go over there and follow them. And Alex will be there also to answer your questions whenever he's available.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye now. Bye bye.